As he asked, Nam accelerated, creating tension in the room. She was unable to regulate her emotions whenever she experienced a physical change. She felt embarrassed and was unable to speak. Nam, however, told her to be herself and encouraged her. Express your feelings and say what you want to say. Don't say anything more. She didn't want to hear those words anymore because she felt ashamed. She was aware that she was relishing the sensation, but she couldn't figure out why she was responding to a stranger in that way. Salutations to the crowd. We're going to enjoy a story today, ladies and gentlemen, called The Flower of Spring. I hope you and your friends will find some time to unwind after reading the story. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment to help the channel. Let's examine this story's primary theme now. Flower is a lady who leads a quiet and respectable life. She used to be limited to taking care of the family, cooking, and adhering to her husband's and his family's demands. The springtime has come and gone. Flower believed that life would always consist of a series of mild days. Being a mother was sufficient, she just needed to perform the duties of a wife, but when she discovered the truth about her husband's affair, her life was abruptly upended, like a sudden storm. She made the decision to sacrifice everything. Flower filed for divorce, leaving behind all of her possessions. With the sole goal being to reclaim her parental rights over her daughter, whom she gave birth to and raised daily, she was about to give up when she heard a knock on the door. Flower looked up and noticed an odd man standing outside. He peered through the window sill into her room. "Do you need anything?" Flower asked him. Grinning, the man entered. "Don't be timid. Avoid shyness at all costs. Here, I am the proprietor. You seem to be lingering with the table. I'll assist you." Flower paused for a moment, examining the man before her. She felt ashamed that he was only partially concealed by his pants, but she reasoned that she couldn't be by herself any longer. "It's so hot today," the man said as she read Flower's thoughts. "I'm sorry, please. My perspiration was dripping wet when I put on my clothes." She pushed the window sill aside without hesitation so the man could enter her room. "Please assist me in putting this table through the opposite gap. It weighs too much. I'm not capable of it, leave it at that. A man must perform these tasks. A woman would never handle something so heavy." The man replaced her with the table. He said, I forgot to introduce you," with his mouth full. "Nam is my name, I work from a distance. I only spend a few days at home each month before I depart. My wife informed me yesterday that a new tenant had moved in. Our fate is the same. 2. I've met you before, but you've just arrived." "Yes, Flower is my name. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you." Flower spoke to Nam in a courteous manner. She doesn't talk much, she has less contact because she is a stranger. Nam repositioned the table. Nam took Flower's hand and assisted her in putting the shoe rack back before she could say, "Thank you." He then turned the closet in a different direction. Nam continued. Despite Flower's repeated rejection of his well-meaning offer of assistance, "Oh, no need. Leave those things to me, please. I dare not disturb you. Just now, you got home. You don't have to buy me anything. Nothing is necessary for me. That day, I only did a few things. You are the kind of woman who can never complete anything. I don't mean that, though. Your spouse doesn't assist you with these tasks. Instead, he lets you handle them on your own. We recently got divorced. We just said that without warning. I'm not sure why I can converse with a complete stranger that I only met a short while ago. However, aside from being honest, you don't see any justification for responding to Nam's direct question. I apologize, I talk too much. It isn't anything. Many thanks, I might not have completed these tasks if you don't assist me." Flower then expressed gratitude and handed Nam a bottle of water. "There is nothing for which to be thankful, I'm just a healthy bodybuilder. As you can see. Who just moved here, anyway? I can help immediately if I return to Asia and see what I can do. How can 3 girls like this deserve a man if they don't contribute? Is it true?" she asked. "In any case, I'm grateful, sweat then dropped to the ground as Nam held the bottle of water that Flower had given. Nam touched his forehead with his perspiring hands. His eyes paused up there just as he was ready to bid Flower farewell. Flower was still hesitant about arranging the items on the floor that she was unaware Nam was examining. Flower changed her clothes this morning after dropping her off at school so she could work more comfortably in the sweltering summer heat. She didn't notice the clothes soaked in her perspiration after that. There were many lovely things in the clothing in front of the net that was wrapped around her body. Her gaze remained fixed on them. He had a lot of imagined images in his head. Nam came to the realization that he had a long-distance relationship with the girls. The love was short-lived. Perhaps he didn't count himself. Nam's spouse was a kind person. The husband found his wife to be uninteresting. Nam frequently flew outside because of this. He enjoyed the odd sensation. Flowers flying pleased him. The clothing belonged to his wife. Nam told her first because he was unable to control his desire. Nam became aware that he was a man. He never touched any of the little items in the house. He was prepared to assist a woman he knew today. Only Nam was aware that this might be the first woman he had ever met. Nam had self-confidence. He was certain that Nam was aware of Flower's attractiveness. Nam was sure of his attractiveness. Regarding his spouse, he had faith. I'm not sure about passion. I sent her a large sum of money each month, but I don't have much time. That's all. How can I make myself look beautiful? Money isn't everything, long-winded Flowers, ha on. I'm not sure whether you're saying this for yourself or for Nam's wife. Duong has also heard some of her husband's speech. She is also aware that material wealth isn't always everything. Some men, such as Nam or Hoa's husband, believe that simply providing for their wives financially is sufficient. Hoa once agreed with her husband's opinions. The money that her husband brings home each month allows them to live like living things, much like Nam's wife does now. The sisters agreed with me after hearing this story, but not all women enjoy wealth. Before Nam's words, Hoa grinned. The majority of men, it turns out, think similarly. Well, I'm not sure, but I don't want to argue about something that neither of us can agree on. She also believes that discussing these problems with a stranger is a waste of time. You're too late, you're getting old. My daughter will be picked up by me. I appreciate your assistance. Oh, what is your daughter's age? Well, a daughter is different, that's true. The girl is 9 years old and enrolled in the 4th grade at the nearby elementary school. He attends the same school as my son and is of the same age. They might be friends. Hoa gave a nod without responding. She dislikes Nam's friendliness. To be honest, she initially believed him to be a man who enjoyed talking about money and was enthusiastic. But after the talk, Hoa discovered that he wasn't the right man for her. She stayed in one spot when she spoke while closing her eyes. Hoa put on a long-sleeved shirt for her with care. However, she was not forgiven by the eyes with that yearning expression. I apologize, but I have to leave now. I apologize. I'm too timid. I can't stop talking to my sister because it's so much fun. I'm heading home, so hurry up. If you need anything, give me a call. I returned to work after my subsequent week-long vacation. Thank you, indeed. Nam left the room behind. Hoa used the window to shut the main door before carrying on with the cleanup. The landlord was no longer on her mind. She also failed to notice that the wolf's eyes were on his lips at the moment. She went to pick up her son after hastily rearranging everything, make lunch for the 2 moms and their kids. A new life, perhaps. Not as exciting as those days in that opulent home, though. Hoa, however, was at ease. Cooking and cleaning to her husband's standards were no longer concerns for her. She didn't have to put up with the irrational whining of her in-laws. The 2 mothers and children were satisfied with a simple lunch consisting of a plate of fried eggs and 8 vegetables. Her happiness was very tranquil. Then Hoa found a job quickly. She worked exclusively in the kitchen for over a decade. Asking for a job is now difficult. She was introduced to a small accounting firm this morning. Hoa got ready for the interview by putting her clothes in order. Hoa opened the closet and selected a dress with fishtails that was too long for her head. Wearing a white shirt. Despite its straightforward appearance, it flaunted her alluring figure. Hoa turned to face the mirror. She hasn't worn such clothing in a long time. 3 years ago, her best friend gave her the outfit she was wearing as a birthday present. It was the first time Hoa had worn it. She chose this dress today in an attempt to boost her self-esteem. After turning around a few times in front of the mirror, Hoa gave herself another look and grinned broadly. Then she left the house. "Oh, lovely, where are you going?" "I know who you are." Hoa smiled again as he saw a man leaning against the wall next to the flower room, holding a bottle of medicine and drawing his face. "I have a job interview coming up." "Good luck, then, thank you, I guess." "You're very young. Why do you still refer to me as your brother?" "I'm accustomed to it, let me fix it, then." Despite knowing that Nam was 10 years her junior, Hoa continued to refer to him as her brother due to legal requirements. Given that her husband is a boy and Hoa Nam is 10 years old, her daughter is only a year older than Nam's son. "Yes, I will always call you that. I'm going to die. I'm going, farewell." Hoa modified her greeting. It makes no difference how you call Hoa, since they are merely strangers. To get to the bus, Hoa left the house. Behind her, Nam's wife's eyes are still fixed on the tall flower. She has 3 round eyes, a firm waist, and a very attractive body shape. Hoa is unable to look away from her movements. Nam's eyes return until Hoa's wife's icy voice is heard. "What is that? You call me that, but why?" "Good, I see. When did you fail to arrive to pick up your daughter from school? You said you would cook for her yesterday." "I am aware, enter now." "Excellent. I haven't been home in a while. But I've never seen my wife in better condition. I go out on the street all day to observe the surroundings." "What is it that you enjoy so much? Are you able to stop going? Are you able to spend a few days at home? You say so much, but why? Now, how many times must I shut it off? Cooking is your wife's responsibility. How may I help you?" Simply speak a few words. If not, don't hold this guy accountable for stepping on that foot once more. That woman's long breath is echoed by the sound of the pot boiling together. Nam reprimanded his wife, then went to the dressing room before calling his son to school. Nam had intended to give his wife a pet in his home while he waited for his son to leave for school. Nam was unable to control his desire this morning when he saw Hoa nude in her new dress. Right then, all he wanted was to remove that dress so his hands would feel comfortable. Other women were receptive to Nam's words until now. With Hoa, however, things were different. Nam was aware that obtaining this woman would be challenging. She lived in his house first. He couldn't be careless because his wife was around. Second, Nam believed that Hoa was difficult to convince with words or arguments. The harder it got, the more Nam wanted to push himself. He wanted a chance to approach this woman, at the very least. Nam became more determined as a result of those thoughts. He made the decision to accomplish his objective within the upcoming days. Nam had to return to work after 2 more days. It was over a month before he returned home again. It's possible that Hoa had relocated by then. "How are you? How did the interview go?" "I take it that the interview went well." When Hoa got off the bus in the alley, Nam had just brought him home. After parking in the lot, he handed Hoa his backpack and said, "Thank you, Nam, I've been employed." "Well done. Your daughter is where?" "It's been a few days since I last saw her. Yes, my folks live in the country. I took my daughter to a friend's house to play with her grandparents." "So you're by yourself at home today?" "You asked what? What are you saying?" When Nam noticed that my question was a little direct, she quickly replied, "Oh, nothing. Hoa can come play with my wife if she's feeling lonely and alone at home." At home, she hardly ever has anyone to talk to. She only had one encounter with Nam's wife during the 5 days it took to move into this room. Their ex-wife's home was the room where she and Nam live with their 2 kids. They allowed her to rent this tiny house while they constructed a larger one next door when they had the chance. Hoa met Nam's wife on her first day in order to deposit money and give her a letter. That woman has never been seen by her since. Hoa is an introvert as well. She doesn't initiate a meeting with Nam's wife because she lacks the communication skills to engage with strangers. To feel safer, she frequently prefers to spend her free time by herself in her home. Yes, I will locate her so we can have a brief conversation. Is your daughter home by herself tonight? Well, I mean nothing, just wondering if we can get together tonight. The baby will be born soon, sister. My spouse wants to spend some time with me, Hoa simply replied and opened her room door. Unaware that Nam was staring at her with a thoughtful smile, she entered. Today's lunch with Nam's family is a little different. Nam's son was the one who recognized this. Why is today so funny? Nam placed a bowl of rice on the table and turned to face his wife after hearing the son's question. Would you two like to go out and play today? I'll take you this afternoon if you go. It's been a while since I've been to see you. After listening to his father, Nam's son expressed his desire to play with him. Really, Dad? Let's go play outside, Dad. His wife had some reservations about his son's cheerful demeanor. What are you doing? What makes you want to play today? What can I do? Yes. It's been a while since I took my mother and son to see their parents. I already feel like I'm missing them. I have a few days off this time. I'll visit their parents with my mother and son. I mean it. Oh, really? Do you mean me? You go to get your clothes ready after lunch. In the afternoon, I'll take you there. You won't stay, then? Indeed, no, my mother and son remain to play comfortably with their parents. I am going to pick them up in the afternoon. Since she hasn't been able to see her parents in a while, Nam's wife is content. Even though she lives just 50 kilometers away from her parents' house, she still finds it hard to comprehend her husband's attitude. Up until now, Nam has always acted uncomfortably when she wanted to visit her parents' home. She was only permitted to return home on New Year's Day or during large gatherings, but why her husband wants to take her parents to her grandmother's house today is beyond me. Even though her husband's actions are unfathomable, she is unable to identify the cause. Because he doesn't want anything to go wrong with his plan, Nam mentally calculates the time to leave and return. He therefore urged his wife and son to prepare for departure at the start of the afternoon. The door to the flower room was still closed when Nam's family boarded the vehicle to travel to her grandmother's home. Nam knew she was in the room because her shoes were still in front of the door. He took a quick look at the small window and noticed the flower's shadow in the wind. To be able to fall out of it, he had to examine it closely. To keep his wife from suspecting, he made an effort to remain composed. What's the matter with you? Why do you have such a red face? Are you all right? Perhaps the sun is to blame. The two of you enter the vehicle. I will be running late to get to my grandmother's house. We traveled dozens of kilometers by car. All that was repeated in Nam's mind was the picture of the flower. Nam didn't care whether the boy was making a joke or not, or if his wife pointed at him or told him about her early years. All he wanted was for his son to return home so he could do as he pleased. Apart from his father-in-law's personal invitation and his wife's entreaties, Nam merely requested permission to sit down, have a drink, and then return home. Yes, I apologize, I have some business to attend to. I'll have dinner with my family when I return to pick up my wife. Nam's wife concealed something from her husband as she glanced at him. Her spouse emerged from the gate. She asked him her questions without hesitation. What do you have to conceal from me today? Only he knew how much Nam laughed and smiled. I'm not hiding anything from you. All I want is for you to return home and get some rest. For what length of time have I been in error? You are not important to me. All I want now is for you to go home and enjoy yourself. Get over your suspicions. Wife, you'll be happier if I stay. You see, nothing will make my parents more welcoming than having you here. They will consider you to be a visitor to the house. Thus, nobody will be at ease. What do you think so strongly about? You are also liked by my parents. You know, but spend more time with your in-laws the next time. You need to return now. I'll return to pick you up in the afternoon. Yes, I suppose. When it was dark, Nam hurried into the car and drove home. Instead of returning home, he went to the alley-side bar. He only ordered a couple of beer cans. Nam intended to use the winemaking machine to carry out his scheme after allowing himself to become inebriated. Nam had a considerable amount of capacity. Since he was unable to drink until he was inebriated, Nam got up to pay and made his way home, one step at a time. Nam inserted the key, opened the trunk, and shut it. He had his phone in his pants pocket, turned off. The cockroach was searching for the key in front of his house. Nam made a loud noise on purpose. Nam was certain that the flower was still awake because the room was still dark. He searched for a while before becoming so enraged that he kicked the wall. Lastly, Nam caught the flower's attention as well. With a sigh of satisfaction, Nam heard the door open. He acted as though he was unaware that he was being watched, but the flower interrupted and said, "What's the matter, Nam? Do I annoy you? I apologize. No. I haven't fallen asleep yet. What's wrong? Are you unable to locate the key?" Nam said, "I don't know where I've been looking for a long time, but I can't find it," after opening his pocket once more and reaching into the other one before finding it. "Where's your wife, sister? How come you didn't call her to let you in? She most likely hasn't gone to bed yet because it's still early." After inhaling deeply, Nam sat down on the floor with his back to the wall. "I had an argument with my husband. She took me to my grandmother's house because she was upset, sister. I dialed every phone she could hear." Nam turned his face away and handed the flower the offline phone. Poor Nam. He turned to the room to get the phone for Nam because he thought she was trying to call his wife while he was looking at the flower. "I'll give her a call to check in." "You grab the phone." The phone was brought to Nam's face by the flower. He simply shook his head, refusing to accept it. "She won't answer the phone from an unfamiliar number, so there's no need." "Do you have the room's key, sister? I will locate it for you." "No, my spouse and I don't leave the key outside because we each have one." There was nothing else the flower could do to help Nam, but she was uncomfortable seeing him sitting on the floor with such a drunken expression. "Or did you find a hotel or rest house on the main street and sleep there? You're lying here all night. Caught in the wind, now that you're that inebriated." "I am no longer able to go." The flower looked around, unsure of who to call for assistance. "I'll get you a blanket if you choose to use the other stone chair." The flower indicated that Nam had no other place to sleep besides the stone chair that was positioned in the center of his room and yard. "I'm exhausted." "Or this flower, would you mind letting me spend a night in the bedroom?" "How is that possible? You can't sleep in my body, I only have one." "What's the matter with that? The bedroom is the only place I sleep. What can I do that you need to be afraid of when I'm that inebriated?" "I don't mean that, but I'm worried that others will notice, judge, and have an impact on your family." "No one will see anything now, so don't worry." Nam hurriedly opened the door to her room before the flower could agree. His wife's bedroom used to be in this room. His parents gave him this little house when they were married. The room's lone bed is now his wife's newlywed bed as well. Nam surveyed the room. Aside from the everyday essentials, nothing had changed. "You can't do that, you. Leave, I don't want other people to misinterpret me. I'm exhausted. Let me sleep for a bit, sister." Nam spoke in a low, inebriated voice before collapsing onto the antique sofa in the center of the room and closing his eyes as though he were dozing off. It came to his brother because the flower kept calling but he was unable to answer. "Go out, Nam, you go out." Nam feigned not to respond. He could hear the flower's drawn-out breath and even the helpless words she pushed out of her mouth. Nam lay down for a long time, feeling as though his body was covered by a thin blanket. The footsteps of the flower approached him, then drew farther away. At last, it was the creaking of the ancient bed. Perhaps he stopped calling him because Nam believed he was intoxicated. and he was at a loss for what to do but let Nam spend the night here. The wall broke the stillness of the pitch-black night with the sound of the clock. Nam remained motionless as he awaited the moment to execute his scheme. After a little while, Nam cuddled up to the bed as the flower's steady breath rose. The flower's sleep was shallow. She awoke as soon as it detected an approaching presence. Unaware of what had transpired, the flower felt Nam beside her. "What are you doing? Hello." She tried to pull the blanket away from Nam's embrace as the flower curled up. "Give me a break." "Nam, what are you doing?" Nam held on despite her attempts to resist. "I felt like I could no longer hold back at this point. Are you insane? Give me a break." Yes, I was at my breaking point. I was unable to shake this sensation. However, there appeared to be a slight loss of composure. Nam said, "Are you intoxicated?" the flower whispered. "First, let me out. You are a man who is married. I am, too. In this case, we shouldn't do anything improper. You got divorced, didn't you?" "I did indeed get divorced." "You are a married man, though. This is not what I want to do to you. I'm having trouble because of you. I hope you stop going and understand." The tension in the conversation increased. The flower kept talking rationally. Nam was upset. She was wearing clothes that he tore and put on her. Though they persisted, the emotions in Nam appeared to be growing more intense. Nam kept acting impulsively, but the flower made an effort to stay away. But the flower was unable to resist Nam's powerful charms. The flower started to feel that she was losing control of herself when she was unable to control the emotion inside of her. She gradually stopped thinking in order to force Nam to comply with his wishes. Nam's gestures initially caused the flower to feel uneasy, but over time, she was unable to articulate the emotions in her heart and became uneasy as a result of her reaction. Nam continued to perplex the flower, and she couldn't help but be attracted to him during those times. Despite feeling conflicted and self-conscious about herself, the flower was powerless to stop things from going on. She felt perplexed and appeared unable to stop, despite her desire to do so, as Nam continued to gaze at the flower. Despite the fact that these strange feelings were evident in her unconscious reactions, the flower still expected her to feel ashamed and refused to acknowledge them. The flower never felt so intense, despite the fact that she had a family and had lived with her husband for many years. She had the impression that she lacked experience, but these feelings left her perplexed and unable to articulate. Even though the flower wasn't aggressive or sentimental, Nam's tenacity and willpower prevented her from becoming disoriented and questioning her actual emotions. But Nam was more attracted than ever to the flower's icy responses. The flower was still plagued by the feeling of confusion, but she was unable to stop thinking about what had just transpired. She questioned whether these emotions were merely an error. Nam didn't think twice about what had happened because of her confidence. But he was taken aback when the flower asked him if he was worried his wife would find out. Nam responded with a smile, "And while I was happy, I was also afraid. However, perhaps we ought to allow this to occur just once. You should forget about today and head home. The happiness of your family shouldn't be impacted by this. We can still have dinner together." "I didn't say it." "How would my wife know if you didn't say it?" "You feel bad about her, don't you?" "She's a male, that's sufficient as long as I can look after her and her child." On his stomach was Nam's flower. He walked out of the bed after grinning at the flower. All men are the same, he thought as he sat in front of the desk. The pursuit of wealth always takes precedence over family happiness. Nam recognized that there was a hint of guilt in the flower's words. More than angry, he was furious. "Your spouse is an outsider as well." Two strangers dropped into the flower's grasp. "It feels as though a thorn has been driven into your heart." An outsider husband, indeed. It was also the cause of the dissolution of your marriage. The flower praised itself as it examined itself in the mirror. "It's obvious that your outsider husband has caused you to suffer. You used to despise women for having sex with their husbands. What are you doing, then, to force yourself to live with those ladies? To make amends, you go home. Charge your phone, and give her a call." Despite having tough skin, women are all incredibly frail. She will be delighted immediately if you just get a little better. Nam grabbed his phone. He only realized yesterday that he had switched off his phone in order to trick the flower. He changed into his clothes and left because he didn't want to be duped by the flower. I'm heading home. Let's get back together if there's a chance. Nam's forceful door closure prevented the flower from hearing his husband's final words. Since she was determined not to allow what had happened today to occur again, she didn't give a damn about what would happen to them the following year. The flower remained in the room the entire day. The sound of Nam's wife running in front of her room was also not audible to her. The flower was resting on the bed, and she was subconsciously recalling yesterday's pictures. Nam helped her have a flower in love and gave her a taste of the joy that comes with being in love. She still harbored a deep-seated desire for more. It wasn't an isolated incident. Her will, however, was considering that. She could simply find each other whenever she needed to, find a new man, or remarry. However, the requirement was that the man be unmarried, not married. Like Nam, the flower made herself forget how she felt the night before and the man's broken body. She refrained from allowing herself to ruin a family's happiness. 2 days later, the flower ran into Nam's wife once more. Nam's wife was sweeping the yard in front of her house when she dropped her daughter off at school early in the morning. She greeted her after noticing the flower. Have you dropped your daughter off at school? Hi, I'm dropping her off at school so she can leave for work. Indeed. What do you bring to school with your mother? A bus? Indeed. Or do you start at work? Your daughter will accompany my husband after he drops you off at school. You two are traveling down the same path. Many thanks. Allow my mother to ride the bus. Because she didn't want to be too close to Nam, the flower turned down her offer. More accurately, she lacked the bravery to acknowledge her good intentions. The flower went to school with her daughter. After a short distance, she heard Nam's voice and drove her to school before departing. She took an additional 2 months to get to work this time. She didn't join her brother for dinner at home. She claimed that she didn't go to work yesterday because she didn't want to rush. Did she rush, or do you have to? She felt slightly uneasy when she heard Nam's voice. She left the tale of the young couple apart and rushed to the bus. She felt a little more at ease during the following few months when she didn't see Nam. She forgot the story of that night and focused on work and became more open to Nam con gai di hok them. Kao con gai nan gay duok jai not ton ko o na chuan by mot bua com thin son. Chiu nam ko vik ra nguai na vo. Phi di don nua ko kong kan truok voi hoa la si don con gai jup hoada. Nen ko tran Thursday di tam rua cho matmi, hoa nin dong ho, they han hai tiang nu moi den geo con gai tan hok. As a result, Troy and Hung Sang Tang Va met moi qua mot tuan lam vik vua qua. Che qua nuoi min cam nan tung tien nuok nam mat. Mot jai jiu quen thuok va dang my mi dam chim trong su sang koi, nay the nay tiang buk chan dang di veo fong min. Ko theo doi quen chi kep ho nu ve ma thoi, ko di veo quen qua chat qua. Va vio nam seeing chi ko va dio day. A kong noi truok voi vio min ma muon tau bet ngo cho ko, hong ne dung ge nam doak gi fep. The kong ko y din di tim ho luk nai, chi la bo tin din gang qua the qua fong ko kep ho. Ma vio kong ko o na, nen on de dan lu di veo trong. Ki nam lai ne sin, tiang nuok che rock rach, kem tiang hadamai qua hoa bang vang trong dao. Qua quen voi nam va can qua bon tam kong ko qua trong danane. Nam rat tu nin mo qua, nam ta kung beat ro rung. Ko kulen, ka nam, sa ka lan, ka dra nguai nai, tong su hot hong qua hoa. Moi Thursday kung du the ro, on ta bo te cat nuok voice and roy siu the ma lao veo. Toi no chi qua, chi hoa. Vo ka sap vi roy day, ka buong toi ra toi xin ka day ko lap lai sai lam nua. Ti chi dung chong siu nua vio ka sap vi. Nam rat hu fu nu, kuok vua noi vua tien gon lai han. Nai now la noi nuoi du tik not nh beat noi now la noi ko the keen fu noon gap nai trong han fuck, fuk cam suk qua hoa cn nai kung de ton song trong tsai vik chin. Doi ban te kong the tu chu doak ma siu tsao lon exe, chan ko rung de. Sai tre nai chut ly tri con sot lai nak no ko vi han dong, tua kong muon ko loi voi vo ka dao dung lai di nam. Chi bao tua dung lai ti lam sa ma doak chu. Tan hung di. Chi dung sui gi nyu qua. Roy ho lai them lon nua cham mi trong in hung cam suk ma nam dem den. It is true that nuoi ho kong kon no den can qua fong chi dang kep ho. Min sap den geo tan hok seeing kong ai quan tom den vik. Siu the quan lay now trong cheek joang siu ky, ho siu the trien men. The vang vong cap noi de ko gi non can siu in hung tiang ko kong. Roy trot im mat kai ko tiang het lon vang len tu truak qua fong. Is it true that nuoi dang lam tsai gi ve ha? However, nin cham veo hai con nuoi nin qua vio nam nin qua vio nathan. Tren joang kia, ko di don con in hung chua den geo tan hok nin tran Thursday v na cam noi com in dang o, kong ngo and hung kong rang min lai tan mat nin thay tsai kanai. Kong beat jiao mat veo dao hoa za ho. Vang che veo fong tam roi tron trong du ko voi vang. Han ko cuc ben tin. This is the reason why mak lai o quan by noak lam cho yut dam. Noi voi vo not lan. Na roi noi chien chung ta vi. Noi chien o day twen muon. Goi chi ira day. Te vio min kio di in Hong Kong the nam. Fong tam goi hoa cho go qua on dan. Chi ra day di, chi hoa. Veo mat hoa, vio nam, chong dam nin tang cho. Fu nu con ko du dan cho min ko cam nan doak su chan get va tue vong manuoi. Toi xan loi, ko hoa. Sai roi toi. Muong now kong ko beat chi lam toi tue vong. Can you tell me if you're gay tam with nuoi chi the now kong ha? The reason for this is that in hung jiat noak mat jia tau and hung voi hoa ti de la su hoi han qua ko. The ong gay ra trian nine goi im o du nuoi dan. Fu nu trake mok now nuoi na de mak cho hai. Nin thay mat chi nua toi kong muon nin. Koi na toi nai chi don ra beat roi toi. Ti hoa kung chong con mat mai now de o lai kong noi ti du nuoi fu nuai. Nam dan cho min ko lang tran on mat get qua vio. Kong chut cam suk qua nam seeing tran luon ca tsai nin. Chong nam sedve dao qua vio kong beat moi quan he. Tan vio mot gia din ko han ban than min de lam. Lam mat neem tin veo tin ban moi no qua hai nuoi fu nu. Them lon nua chuyen na hoa lai. In this case, ko quiet din chuyen han vek, o kung voi bo mi ruat. Xo bo van luon lam ko roi lo mi kai no den ko o tron ton ti. Nu ve la ka chuyen qua chung ta de di den hoi ket roi, qui sixth and men. To chung tua doak beat ne dung quain de lai ben luon de chia si. Chow tam beat qui six roi, con bai geo, by trong chuang trin lon sao hen gap lai qui.